Hey, welcome back. So let's talk about something we've all seen. You know those dark, ugly streaks on your house? The ones on the roof or the siding that just make you sigh? Yeah, those. Well, what if I told you that the number one way people try to fix this, blasting it with a pressure washer, is actually the worst thing you could possibly do? Seriously, let's dig into why that is. All right, so first things first, what is actually causing those ugly streaks? I mean, your first thought is probably dirt, right? Or maybe some kind of grime from pollution. It totally makes sense. It just looks like a buildup of gunk that needs a good, hard scrub. Okay, but the truth is, well, it's a little wild. It is not just dirt, it's alive. Yep, you're looking at a living, breathing infestation that has literally moved in and made your house its home. This changes everything, you know? This isn't a cleaning problem at all, it's a pest problem. So if it's alive, then what in the world is it? Well, it's time to meet the culprit. And yeah, you guessed it, there is, quite literally, a fungus among us. The main bad guy here has a pretty fancy name, Gloacapsa magma. Now what that is a type of cyanobacteria. Think of it as the super ancient little organism that gets energy from sunlight. And that dark stain you're seeing on your house, that's not dirt. It's actually a protective shell, like a little suit of armor the bacteria builds to protect itself from the sun's UV rays. And here it is. Wow. Up close and personal. This is the little microscopic critter that's feasting on your home. When you see it like this, it kind of hits different, doesn't it? That ugly black streak isn't just a stain. It's an entire thriving colony of bacteria. And yeah, I said feasting for a very specific reason. Because these organisms, they're not just hanging out, enjoying the scenery. Oh no, your house has become their personal 24/7 all-you-can-eat buffet. And this really gets to the core of what's going on. One of our sources puts it perfectly. Nature uses organisms like bacteria, algae, and moss to decompose larger objects into soil. Think about that for a second. That same natural process of breaking things down, that's what's happening to your house, right on your roof and walls. I mean, just imagine the kind of power we're talking about here. We've all seen those incredible pictures of ancient temples, right? With giant tree roots just splitting the stone apart over centuries. Well, on a much smaller scale, but happening a lot faster, that's exactly what these tiny organisms are doing to your home. So how are they actually eating your house? Well, it happens in a few ways. First, they literally chow down on stuff like the limestone filler that's in most asphalt shingles. Then, their waste, their poop, is acidic and it just eats away at the surface. On top of that, those dark stains act like magnets for the sun, absorbing more heat, which basically bakes your roof and makes it age way faster. And to top it all off, they grow these tiny little root systems that dig in and grip the surface for dear life. Okay, so you've got this living thing eating your house. The natural reaction? Grab a pressure washer and just obliterate it, right? But that is a huge mistake. Let's get into the big problem with all that pressure. So look at this, the Grand Canyon. Absolutely incredible, right? It was carved out over millions of years by pretty much one thing, water, under pressure. This is like the poster child for erosion. It just shows the insane power water has to wear away solid rock. And here's the kicker. If high-pressure water can do that to solid rock, why on earth would you use that same exact destructive force on the much more delicate surfaces of your home? I mean, it's kind of like trying to dust your furniture with a sandblaster. It just doesn't make sense. Here's the real problem. Blasting those stains away, it doesn't actually solve anything. All you're getting is a temporary fix that looks good for a minute, but leaves the roots behind. And even worse, that high pressure is like blowing on a dandelion full of seeds. You're just spreading the spores everywhere, driving them deeper into the surface. You cause permanent damage, you cause erosion, and you can even void your roof's warranty. So you're not fixing the problem, you're basically just making it angrier and helping it spread. Okay, so if brute force is clearly not the answer, what is? Well, this is where we need to stop thinking about destruction and start thinking about science. Let's dive into the science of what's called soft wash. And this, right here, is probably the single most important idea we're going to talk about. It requires a total shift in how we look at the problem. You're not cleaning, you're treating. Think about it. You wouldn't try to clean away a termite problem, would you? No, you'd call an exterminator to treat it. It's the exact same logic here. This chart really lays it all out side by side. Pressure washing, that's what we'd call a restorative cleaning, but it spreads the organisms, uses a ton of water, damages surfaces, and the results are super short term. Now, soft washing, that's a maintenance treatment. It actually kills the organisms, uses only about a third of the water, does no damage, and get this, the results last 4 to 6 times longer. It's really the difference between doing surgery with a scalpel versus a chainsaw. And what's the goal of this treatment? It's this number, 100%. The whole point isn't just to make it look clean. The goal is a 100% kill ratio of all those organisms. We're talking about completely sanitizing the surface, because if you leave anything behind, guess what? It's just going to grow right back. All right, let's wrap this up. The core message here is actually really simple, but it's a total game changer for taking care of your home. Just remember this: treat it, don't blast it. The treatment itself is a really precise 4-step process. It's very scientific. First, an expert comes out and identifies exactly what kind of infestation is growing on your house. Then they apply a special blend of biodegradable water-based chemicals. Step 3 is just letting that chemistry do its job, letting it sink in and neutralize everything, right down to the root. And then, only after everything is dead, the last step is to just gently rinse all that dead stuff away. So what's the 30-second pitch here? If you had to explain it to a friend, it's easy. It's the smart, safe alternative to pressure washing. Instead of blasting, it uses biodegradable chemistry that kills all the mold, algae, and bacteria at the root. It uses way less water, and the results last 4 to 6 times longer. I mean, it's just a smarter, better way to do it. And that really brings us to the final takeaway. The next time you walk outside and see those dark streaks on your roof or your siding, you'll know what's up. You'll know it's not just dirt. So the real question is, what are you going to think? Are you going to think, I need to clean that? Or are you going to remember the science and think, I need to treat that? Because really, the long-term health of your home depends on that choice. Thanks for tuning in.